Everyone knows what CPA firms do, that is, certified public accountants. They handle your accounting and do your taxes. But suppose you were a dentist and you wanted a firm that could provide more than just typical accounting and tax preparation services. In that event, you would most likely seek the services of this firm, Cain Waters and Associates, located here in the Dallas suburb of Plano, Texas. For this is a dentist dream come true. That's who they cater to, and they have dental clients in the hundreds from coast to coast. And the reason is very simple. They handle virtually every accounting, tax preparation, financial planning, business advice service that a dentist could possibly use. In other words, they are a one-stop financial shop for a dentist, and they've been doing it for over 30 years. To learn more about this unique firm, we met with many of the 7 partners of the firms, including the founding partner, Darrell Cain.
Cain Waters is a firm of CPAs that takes care of primarily dentists all across the country. And what we do is we do planning. We plan for the dentist, both their business, I like to say sometimes we're their chief financial officer, and then also we are their trusted family advisor. So we play both those roles, and we try to help them from the day they get out of dental school, help them acquire practice, how to set up their business. We then help them make financial decisions about their business. We help them from soup to nuts, taxes, investments, insurance, debt structuring, pension plans, wills and estates. And we try to do all that, and then we take care of them till they bring in a partner, till they sell their business, till they then need to figure out a way to live on their assets they accumulated. And so we try to take care of their financial life cycle all the way around their entire life.
We're about bringing peace to someone's financial world, and specifically to people that are self-employed, and even more specific than that, to dentistry. And what I find that makes us unique in that aspect is that so many people will ask CPAs so many different questions about all different types of industries and all different types of taxes. And what makes this firm unique is that by specializing in the dental industry, we're able to not only know our clients' business at a higher level, but also know how financial planning affects them individually, because they're all in the same type of industry.
Why are dentists your main clients?
In most cases, they stay fairly individualized. As a partnership of dentists, you might find 3 or 4 doctors working together. That's a big dental practice. Whereas a physician or doctors, you might find 15 anesthesiologists working together. So in order for us to get something done for a larger practice of doctors or physicians, we have to almost work with all 15 people. Or it's like an act of Congress to get something completed in one of those businesses. Whereas working with an individual dentist, we are able to give them the advice, and they're able to act on that advice because they don't have to get it approved by so many different people.
People say, well, you're a CPA firm, but all you do is what? Well, we plan for people. We plan for their lives, what they want and what to do. And so in that regard, we were unique, and over time we kind of built all the different layers of our expertise. We got really good maybe at pension plans. We got good at how to sell your dental practice. And we got good at all these different layers that we built. And of course now we have over 100 people, and I have partners, 6 other partners, and lots of CPAs that work here. And we've put in millions of man hours together trying to understand dentistry. So I think we're very unique in that regard.
So explain how you got in the dental business to begin with.
I was the chief financial officer of a continuing education company for dentists. And what I noticed that dentists were smart, that they worked really hard, but they didn't really have a financial background, and they wanted the advice of the people that come out of those big accounting firms was never really brought to the field of dentistry. I identified dentists were people that owned their own business. They still bought their buildings. They weren't like physicians. Physicians, were associated with the hospitals. They had managed care. Their income was limited to reimbursement from insurance, whereas most dentists make their money by offering a fee for a service. So that seemed to be the people we wanted to take care of, and that's the niche that started 30 years ago, and we haven't begun to still fulfill that whole niche.
We have exchange systems that we use for emailing. We have the web filters, which we're blocking tens of thousands of pieces of email every day that are just spam. Each one of our users don't ever see any of that, They just communicate with each other and to our clients. Our clients can log into our system and actually see information that we put out there for them. Anything from a tax return, accounting information, or just a general document. They can go out and look at that information 24 hours a day. When you tie into our system, you're tying in with an encrypted line. Everything communicating between here and the client's computer is encrypted across that line. So if somebody was to actually see that data going across the line out in the world, it would just be garbage to them. But then the client can actually see what he's looking for, and it works out real well.
We think differently about your finances than most people, and that's whether you're a dentist or not. We understand that money accumulates in a hyperbolic curve as opposed to an arithmetic progress. The advice you get about how to structure your debt, the advice you get on how to structure your tax liability and whether or not you utilize the pension plan and to have a deferred tax environment, those are things that set us apart about the kind of advice that we give. We also do is we have invested a lot of time in knowing about your dental practice, whether you're a specialist of any kind, from an orthodontist to an oral surgeon, or you're a general dentist. And we've invested all that time to understand what your numbers should look like in your business, what your cost structure should be, how to hire an employee, how to hire another dentist. And that expertise of that experience that comes from all of that is, I think, what sets us apart, particularly in the field of dentistry.
Recently at a meeting, and one of the spouses came up to me and she said, "You know what you need to do at your next talk?" And I said, "What?" She said, "You need to get up there and tell them what you sell basically is security." She said, "I didn't understand what you guys did until we had our first meeting." She said, "Now I know that all I have to do is make one phone call to you who knows everything about my situation. If something happened to my husband, I have to make one phone call and everything's taken care of," which is a lot of security for a spouse.
In effect, you are the money manager for your clients.
So let's say it's a one doctor practice. They have the doctor and then probably 5 people who work for them, and then the spouse. If something happens to that doctor and the spouse is not in the financial affairs of the practice or in their situation at all, or they're not familiar with their situation at all, what do they do? I mean, you think about how devastating it could be, and you know, we take a lot of that on because we know every bank account that they have, every investment account, all of their insurance policies, their disability insurance, their life insurance, their business insurance, their automobile insurance. We know how much money they have saved for their kids' education. We know where everything is. And there's typically not another group out there that knows that much about that individual.
We know the dental industry inside and out. With over 90% of our client base in the dental industry, whether it's a general dentist, an orthodontist, a periodontist, or any other specialty that we represent, we have spent many hours training our planners and our employees on being able to understand dentistry. So not only do we do training for our employees on taxes and financial planning and investments and insurance and estate planning, but we also have training every single month where we bring in some type of consultant or someone that works with dental practices to teach us about how dental practices run. Not only do we need to do the training and the financial planning and investments to keep up with the times and provide the best and accurate advice to our clients, but we also keep up with that one specific industry. We can tailor our financial plans of what works best for the dental industry.
Our clients have a choice. They can invest the money with their own investment advisors, or they can seek our advice. And we have different programs that we've established with third-party custodians and banks and financial institutions, brokerage houses, where we can then give them advice about how to do asset allocation and how much risk is appropriate for them to then invest their money. So we spend a lot of time out at that, and we've been doing it for a long time.
The amazing story of Cain Waters and Associates, a community of individuals dedicated to the accumulation, preservation, and perpetuation of their clients' wealth. I'm Doug Llewellyn reporting from Plano, Texas.